Hello, hello. Allow me to welcome you to another episode of the Effective Living Series 2025. My name is Apioko Seira Mashong Abe. You can call me Apioko. Now, in week 4 of the Effective Living Series, we're still sticking to our broader theme of resetting, but this week, we're talking about resetting business. Resetting business. We're talking about how to recalibrate, how to remodel, and how to rebuild your business in this year and beyond. Things are changing extremely fast, and things are much different from what they were even as recently as last year. And so we're talking about how you can make sure that you position yourself to make sure that you take all the opportunities at hand to heart and then make the best use of them. Now, today in particular, we're talking about how to identify business opportunities in times like these. Very interesting times indeed. And like I always like to say, I am not the expert, but I do have the perfect person to let you know how you can do this, how to identify business opportunities in times like these. My guest today is Dr. Andrews Ayiku. He's a lecturer and a business coach at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, otherwise known as UPSA. So we're going to take a presentation from Dr. Ayiku, and after that, we go to the couch, we have a conversation. You're welcome. And don't forget that the Effective Living Series is sponsored by Hallmark Cafe.
How to identify business opportunities in times like this. You need to identify what time do you see yourself. Either you are running a business, you want to start a business, or you are unemployed. In times like these, things are quite difficult. So if you are running a business, I know you are having issues with finance. You are having issues with access to land, access to so many things, operational things to enable your business to grow. But how are those things affecting your business? We talk about high taxes, which is reducing your profit. We talk about land acquisition. I know a business in Takrady, they are trying to get a land in Accra. After paying and everything, they were scammed. How are you operating? How are you going to grow? Access to finance. A lot of businesses are not able to grow because they are not having access to finance. But let's think through this. If things are difficult and we are having challenges and you want to change the way you do things, the first thing as a business coach that I will tell you is to shift your mindset. I meet a lot of people, they want to start a business, they're having issues with their businesses, we do business like those things, but their mindset is the main thing. They are stuck, they can't think. Why can't you think? There's opportunity for you to go and move the mind to a growth mindset. If you are producing yogurt and your clients want granola, do it for them. They want chia seeds, do it for them. They want chia pudding, do it for them. Why are you stuck? Why don't you challenge the status quo? Change your mindset, reframe the mind, see opportunities when there are challenges. And listen, you need to have an open mind. If you want to grow, if you want to change, if you want to identify opportunities now, you need to focus on solutions more than problems. I meet a lot of business owners, I meet a lot of unemployed people. All they do is they complain from inflation and everything else. But those complaints, what is the solution? Have you identified a solution? To identify a solution now, you need to know how to use social media. What are you using social media for? What opportunities have you identified in social media? Whether you like it or not, we find ourselves in a situation where customers' tastes and preferences are changing. So you need to be very innovative. You need to be very creative. You need to see things in a different way. The customer you used to serve last year has changed. Pricing is changing. So what is your pricing model? So if you want to identify business opportunities, take this from me, write it down. 1, you need to conduct what we call local market analysis. I want you to talk to customers. I want you to understand customers. I want you to appreciate customers. Understand what goes on in the market. You cannot sell to yourself. You sell to customers. You sell to a market. So what is the market saying? And use social media. What is trending? What are people interested in? What do they want to buy? What do they want to spend their money on? People are running businesses. People tell me there are no opportunities. But don't you see people spending? When you go out in the night, don't you see people spending? Don't you see people driving? Things are expensive, yes, but you focus on the customer. And when you're focusing on the customer, you're not focusing on your solution. You're focusing on the customer's pain. Can you imagine? People come into the market, they are selling, and all that they are selling is their solution. No. Think about the customer. If you are ready to identify an opportunity, the focus should be on the customer and explore a niche market. I meet business people. Times are difficult. They want to expand. Have you exhausted your current market? Sell to them. Change the customer's perspective. Now, let me ask you a question. How are you serving your current customer? And how are you going to serve your future customer? Why? You think the current listeners of your station are the customers who are going to listen forever? They are going to be new customers, new breed kind of customers. What this election is telling us is that consumers are changing, their taste and preferences are changing, and when they are quiet, they are just looking for an opportunity to switch. So what is the switching cost for somebody to move from you to your competitor? You need to think about that when you are thinking or want to start a business or identify a business opportunity. Another thing I want us to talk about is that in the process of identifying business opportunity, look at partnership. Look at collaboration. A lot of Ghanaian businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of unemployed, they don't want to collaborate. Everything, I have a business idea. Don't tell anybody. Why? We are all copying. One way or the other, you need to enhance what your mindset is. So change your mindset and collaborate. And stay adaptable. The skills you need now to be able to grow is adaptability, flexibility. You should understand the market. When things change, then you change. There's a new government in place. What are they saying? What are they going to invest in? Which areas are they going to put in money? Then you have to change your mindset and monitor your competitors. The business is not for you alone. What are your competitors saying? What is your customer? Your competitor, what are they doing for their customers now? How are they serving them? What are they selling to them? Let's move on to businesses that over the past 3, 4, 5 years have helped, where I see a lot of opportunities. One is in the online retail business. There's a lot of opportunities in the digital market space. Please look at it. Now, a lot of Ghanaians, there's a new breed of Ghanaians that are interested in health and wellness. Any product that talks about health, wellness, they'll borrow money to buy. They'll spend money to do so many things. So you need to identify those tastes and preferences that they have. Now, there's so much money in snail rearing, agriculture, organic farming. Think about it. Backyard garden, start doing something. These are opportunities that you can do. And lastly, bakery. Ghanaians love snacks, but they love healthy snacks. So think about it. Go into it because there's an opportunity there. You have identified the business opportunity. But I want to tell you something. After identifying the opportunity, you have all the passion to start doing something. When you want to start a fashion business, anything else, please listen to the following. You may have the opportunity, you may have the dream, you may have everything. But if you don't have these skills, these soft skills, you will not be able to be successful. One, flexibility. You may choose to start a business today. Tomorrow, things may change. What will you do? Will you be flexible enough or you start complaining? Value proposition. Your value should be clear. A lot of people are doing businesses and you don't understand what they are doing. Their value should be, there should be clarity in what you are telling the customer. You can't run a business without having any financial knowledge. This one, you can learn it on your own. You meet a lot of business people, ask for finance, I'm going to call somebody. You should know how to price. What are you pricing for? And what are your cost drivers? What drive costs in your life? You need to be very deliberate and intentional in identifying what drive costs. And then you need to be customer-centric. Everything is about the customer. You can't do anything without the customer. And build relationship. Ghanaians, business people, unemployed people, build relationship. Relationship open doors for people. So build relationship, which will help you to grow. Businesses that you can explore in these tough times that everybody is complaining. I made mention of agribusiness. Affordable essentials and basic needs. People need things. Supply them. Identify what they need. How do they need it? People are complaining, but they have money to spend. So get them the thing that they can spend their money on. Waste management. I'm not saying you should go around collecting people's waste, but coordinate the waste. A friend of mine just started a business estate, is coordinating the waste collection for them. All their major problem is how do we, if you are coming on Wednesdays to pick, make sure you come and pick. He has set up an app and he's doing it. So nothing should stop you from growing. Nothing should stop you from identifying these opportunities. I want to leave you with these actions that you need to take. The actions that you need to take to help you to identify opportunities in this current moment that we don't know when there's going to be any change is one, identify your niche. You cannot sell to everybody. I'm sorry, you are not government. Focus on the niche. 2, access skills and resources. They are online. Get a mentor. If you want to identify opportunities, get a mentor to speak to. Read. Thirdly, any opportunity you identify, validate it. Some opportunities are fake. Validate so that you see the reality. When somebody says they want to buy, make sure they really want to buy. Develop a business model. Anything you want to do, what is the model around it? Finally, build a brand online. Remember, building a brand online helps because when people search for you, when people hear about you, they'll search for you and they look out for you. Who are you? What can you do? Identify yourself. Identify what you can do and identify the soft skills that will help you to identify the opportunities. Thank you very much.
Now, if you're just joining us, this is the Effective Living series right here on 97.3 City FM and ChannelOne TV. My name is Apioko. This week, in the 4th week of the Effective Living series 2025, we're talking about resetting business. And there are 3 R's that I need you to remember in that regard. Recalibrate, remodel, rebuild. Recalibrate, remodel, rebuild. Now today, Dr. Andrews Ayiku has taken us through a crash course, really. This is what he teaches his students, and he's giving it to you in 10 minutes. You should pay for it, but you're not. So I hope you took notes. I hope you listened carefully to some of the key things. But just to help you distill what he spoke about, we're going to have a conversation with him. And just a reminder, Dr. Andrews Ayiku is a lecturer and a business coach, the University of Professional Studies, Accra, otherwise known as UPSA. Doc, that was brilliant. Is that the energy that you bring to your class? No wonder your students love you so much. Energy.
This is what I do, and I love what I do.
It's evident.
I
it's
love what
evident.
I do.
And thank you for making time to be with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You touched on some very, very interesting and important things. And I want us to start by just looking a little into the current business challenges in Ghana that you outlined, specifically access to finance and then tax rates and corruption, because those are 2 things that almost every Ghanaian who is in business has a problem with.
So most business people are having issues with access to finance, the interest rates especially. Most people also lost their money in the past. And getting access to finance now, banks cannot give you money. Even the grace period is becoming difficult. Where to get the money is serious. And this is affecting their expansion. It's affecting their operation. So I meet a lot of businesses that they have to be very careful about customer demands because they may not have the money to expand. Some people today put money in investment and they are not getting the necessary returns, 1. Secondly, tax, the high tax, which I hope we will understand how small businesses, no matter how small they are, they close them down, they are always after them, they are always telling them to file taxes, and this is affecting their operations.
And that's a problem, right? Because most of our businesses are actually small and medium-scale businesses.
Exactly. So how much do they make? I remember yesterday I was talking to one that have to get a tax man because they needed a tax certificate for an export, and they went and the tax they have to pay. He's telling me that's his profit. So we need to look at how we can support them, because it's affecting the whole business system and business operation. It's actually discouraging people from going into business. Where am I going to get money? And when they look at the tax, and people so corrupt one way or the other, trying to get money from them, promising them they are not doing, things need to streamline if we want them to grow.
So Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning,
policies,
and then the agencies,
exactly.
Ghana Enterprise Agency, GA, GEPA, they all have some work to do.
And one of the things as a business coach, we don't have policies that are very deliberate to help businesses to grow, like compared to other countries. You go to other countries, you meet your colleagues in other countries, and there are policies to help businesses to grow, which are very deliberate, and their growth path is there. So when I'm entering, I know in the next 5 years, these are the number of people I have to employ. But Ghana, I think something needs to be done. It's so frustrating.
Thank you, and thank you for speaking up for the businessmen and women. Now, you also talk about shifting mindset, and that's something that has been running through as a theme since we began the series, Effective Living series this year.
Yeah.
I guess because we are talking about resetting in general, mindset, your mindset is not reset, then you can't reset anything. But you spoke specifically about staying curious and open-minded.
Exactly.
And I think that sometimes people have been operating, and you outlined it in your presentation, you've been doing the same business, it was working for you, now it's not working. And sometimes they become so used to where they are and what they've been doing that they don't even know where to look for new opportunities.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice or tips can you give to someone like that who says, you know, I want to shift my mindset, I want to be curious, I want to embrace change, but I don't even know where to begin?
Where to begin? And this is very simple. We all belong to WhatsApp platforms. The kind of platform you belong to actually shows the kind of mindset you have. I'm sorry, but if you belong to a WhatsApp group that always talk about funeral, naming ceremony, and other things, no, what do you expect? But join a platform that talks about business opportunities. In the morning, they will share something that will let you know that you need to change the status quo. One of my mentees, I told her to go and join the Chamber of Commerce. And she called me, she said, listen, she met somebody who is actually doing the same business she's doing and the kind of advice she got. We shouldn't be scared. And I used to crash a lot of business. Anytime I hear an advert, I go. Just because I want to meet people. Just because I want to learn something new. Ghanaian business owners don't want to learn anything new. They are fixed. This is what I want to do. No. So usually when you come, I will ask you, how do you manage customer feedback?
Okay.
It's one of the best ways to shift your mind. The customer is telling you, do this way. Sometimes they will tell you that, no. When the customer is giving us negative comments as a business person, and that's how you shift your mind. This is not rocket science. Listen to your customers. Know who is your friend. Know which platforms you belong to. And there are a lot. I joined the Gospel Men's Fellowship, not because of anything, but I wanted new ideas.
The network that you can get from there.
Just to learn new ideas. And I was shocked. Because you make people see things from different perspectives, and it helps. So if you're a business owner and you want to shift your mind, be very open. And when somebody criticizes you, write it down. Don't always challenge. When the customer comes and say, I use this, and it's not like you are the only person who is complaining, don't come and buy again. Why do we talk like that? And I say that most of the time. Have time to speak to your customer, get feedback, and when you manage the feedback, you realize you have changed. You realize the business processes will change. Even the office environment will change. Okay? So this is how, very practical. Try and do this week. It will help.
Doc, you spoke a lot about being customer-centric.
Yeah.
And even with what you just said, just a couple of moments ago,
exactly,
you again mentioned the customer. Customer service is a problem we have in Ghana.
Yes.
How can people, is it a lack of training? Is it a lack of awareness? But how can people take deliberate steps to make sure that they are now focusing on the customer, what the customer wants product-wise, service-wise, and everything in between?
So most Ghanaian businesses think it is about their solution, not the customer's
So
pain.
what I have, what I can do.
What is in the market, buy and go home. You don't have a choice. That is their mindset. So when you enter their shop and you're not ready to buy, they don't care. When you meet other people, you see the pressure. You see how our colleagues, Nigerians, you see how when they want you to buy something, why? Because they know you have a pain. When you understand the customer's pain, you know how to sell. Very simple. Understand what the customer wants, his taste and preferences. When does he want it? What price does he want to take? How does the customer want you to save? Have you been listening to some adverts that some eye clinics are opening on Sundays?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
What are they trying to do? They're listening to your customers. Initially, was that the case?
No. Even on Saturday, they'll close at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Look at the dentist. Appointment anytime, 24 hours. What is happening to them? Because they are listening to the customer's pain. The customer can only buy. You can only step out to buy when you close from work. And they are telling you they have closed. Then you are listening to yourself. Now, a lot of businesses are opening on Sundays. Why? Because customers are now buying more. And if I do a research, I know a lot of businesses that customers buy more after
and on
church.
Holidays.
Exactly.
During the Christmas period, 25th, 1st, many shops that some years ago you wouldn't see open, they were open from morning to night.
Because the customer has a pain. And even at the university, There are courses we are doing, the customers don't have the pain. You won't get students. So you need to be very deliberate. What do my customers want? Let me do it for them. You know the price of iPhone, no matter the price people buy, because they are solving a pain. What happened to Nokia? Because it wasn't solving people's pain. It's not the phone. It's something that the customer wants. Is it the battery? Is it the security? So why do people buy from you? Take your time, understand why they buy from you. When you understand why they buy from you, you'll be able to sell.
Doc, I want us to take a break so that we can acknowledge our very, very able sponsors, Hallmark Cafe, and then we come back and continue the conversation.
This is your chance to be served by a robot at Accra's premier destination for fine dining, Hallmark Cafe, located in Jowolu, just after the Allied filling station. It's the perfect spot for delectable pastries, desserts, hot and cold beverages, as well as a variety of continental and local dishes to satisfy your cravings. Enjoy convenient staff lunch services, expert kitchen management, and outdoor event hosting. Here, simply press a button and your waitress will be at your table in no time. Visit Hallmark Cafe today and experience the future of fine dining. Call us now at 053-7344-095 to make your reservation. Hallmark Cafe. Delight in every sip and
This is still the Effective Living series, and you're listening to us on 97.3 City FM and watching us on ChannelOne TV. My name is Apioko. My guest today is Dr. Andrews Ayiku. He's a business coach, a lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, and we've been talking about how to identify business opportunities in times like this. Times like these. And he's really dropping some very practical things that you should be thinking about if you are in business, but also if you are looking to go into business. Now, Doc, let's talk about, and in your presentation, you spoke a lot about, under the broad theme of identifying business opportunity, the importance of conducting local market analysis, doing research.
Sure.
Now, many of us are not professional market analysts, researchers, so we don't know how to conduct feasibility studies. So as a small business owner, somebody who is even looking to scale up to the medium bracket, what are some of the things that we can do to make sure that even though we don't have that expertise, and we may not even be able to afford to hire someone to do it, but how can we analyze our market?
So you are a small business. Normally what I tell my mentees is, one, do observational research. Observe your clients. Observe them. Take customer feedback. Quickly, have a focus group. Have 3-4 customers. Ask them the same question about your products, your services. What can I improve? Please don't ask questions like, I am very good, I'm serving you well. Don't ask such questions. When the customer finish eating, when the customer finish buying, ask the customer, what else can I do to serve you better? That is when you are trying to get answers, which will be feedback for you. Or you want to start a new business. Don't just run and say, oh, this guy is doing well, so let me go and start. No. Who is that person? How is that person selling? And one of the things I tell people, if you want to start a business and want to do this same thing that Apioko is doing, go and check 1995, the year 2000, how she started. Take pictures of all her packaging. That will give you an idea of where she came from.
Yeah.
We always want the finished goods. Who told you? Go and do a market. So when you come, I'll tell you to go and study. If you don't want to study, go. Observational research. You read. People don't read. We need to read to get knowledge about the industry we want to sell. The fact that somebody has opened a communication center or somebody is doing mobile money, that doesn't mean that is the business that is thriving. No. How is it thriving? What is their income? What are their cost drivers? And who is your customer? Apioko, you have a customer. But who else is serving your customer? Go and find out what he's doing for your customer. Market research, don't hire anybody. Do it yourself. But that is where the issue is. Because when I give you a template and I tell you to give me your customer, you judge. Lastly, a lady came and said she wanted to do cake. She wanted to learn how to do cake. I said, are you ready to do an apprentice? She looked at me. I said, yes, that's the market analysis. Go and do an apprentice. 6 months, she finished doing the apprentice. And then she came and said, Andrews, I don't need to build a shop. I can sell the cake online. Now she goes to schools. Please don't steal this business idea. She goes to schools on children's birthday. Parents are paying so much money. Wow. And she do it. So research, you create a niche market. When you do a research, realize you can't sell to everybody. You are not Malcolm. You are no.
Yeah.
Segment the market. Have a niche market, serve them. I'll be happy if you serve 50 customers and grow them. Than rather trying to sell 500 customers when you don't even have 5 customers.
So identify the niche market, which is also something you outlined.
Exactly.
But you can only do that if you've done your research.
Do your research.
You can only do that if you've done your research.
Yes. And so that I say don't do research with your family members. Because everything you say, they'll tell you is fine. Do research with people you know they don't like you. They'll tell you the truth sometimes.
So, Doc, something else that sticks out for me. You're a perfect example yourself of someone who has skills, knowledge, not necessarily a physical product like cake or shoes that you're selling, but you do sell your skills.
Exactly.
And through services, right? How can someone, first of all, identify what skills they have that they can make money from? And then secondly, how can you structure a business around that?
Okay, so normally when you want to start skills, business, services, I'll tell you to do a self-assessment. That's what I did. I did a self-assessment. I realized that if I want to go into consultancy, if I want to go into lecturing, what are my weak points? And it's very difficult for people. Oh, me, I don't have any weak points. I know everything. No. When you accept and you do your self-assessment, then I started learning. I identify areas that I had weaknesses. I started learning. Some of the learning, I need to go to conferences, programs. Then I decided to look for organizations that I best fit their market. That's what we call product market fit. So I'll look at you. You run a business. When I come, what can I do? But whatever I have to do, there should be an impact. When you're offering a service, it's not tangible. It's not food that when you finish drinking the water, you are fine. I need to advise you, and that advice needs to make an impact.
Okay.
I need to organize an event. So this goes especially to event organizers. How you place the thing is what the customer experiences. That's how you build a business around it. So we say, oh, this is an event, I can do that. No, you cannot do it. It's a service. And the customer, the feedback, you will never know. So for instance, this is for free. I do free stuff for organizations I want to do business for in the future.
Okay.
So I do free stuff for them.
So it's almost like battering.
Thank you. There's an organization, they have a product in the market. They have not asked me anything. I've done market research for them. I've sent them a report. They were shocked. I sent them a report and I did proper market research because I want to enter into that market. Thirdly, I do reports for organizations they have not asked for. But you know what is happening. You do the analysis, you compare 2 or 3 competitors and you send them the report. And that's how we're able to build a business. So, but it has to be deliberate.
Very deliberate.
And you have to be ready to suffer.
Okay.
Because they have not asked you for anything. And when I started doing that, when they sign contract with you, you'll be shocked. 5 years, why? Because you started with something that is having an impact on their bottom line. So you can start. But the difficulty is that when people come and you advise them, they say, no, I can't do that. I mean, the first thing you have to pay. Sometimes they are pricing. Okay? So identify what you want to do. The self-assessment is key. And you know your weaknesses. When you know your weakness, that's the first step. Nothing can stop you.
Wonderful.
Sure.
Wonderful. Doc, it's been great speaking to you. I know we didn't have a whole lot of time. This is something that we could talk about in 3 hours or more. It's in fact, it's a whole semester's course. So we'll find ways and means to bring you back, through our other programming so that we can address some of the other things into more detail. But thank you so much. Dr. Andrews Ayiku is a lecturer and a business coach. He is with the University of Professional Studies, UPSA, here in Accra. And look, he's said so many important things. And like I said, he's broken it down for anybody who wants to do any business to be able to take the skill, the advice, and run with. Don't slack. Act now. Reset. and excel in 2025. My name is Apioko. This is the Effective Living series, and we're proudly sponsored by the Hallmark Cafe.